What is up, Watch fam? Happy Wednesday for a change, and welcome to this week's episode of Liquor Run. I am Christian from Theo and Harris. This is my old man, Rolly. And today, Rolly and I want to talk about Thanksgiving. You know, some of the things in the watch and wine community we're thankful for over the perfect Thanksgiving wine. Let's do it. All right, before we get into our wristwatch checks, and I cannot wait to hear about what's on your wrist, one of my favorite watches, I'd like to thank Richard Vinhais and Discovering Time, his new book, which is now available on Amazon. It's about, the description is stories from a collector community, and that's probably the perfect description, right? Stories, in that the book is comprised of short stories, right? And a collector community. Collector is an interesting word, right? Because it is almost an implication of, I don't know, hoity-toity kind of snootiness. But what you learn about in this book is what Rich and I and Anna, and maybe you to some degree, know super well. That the watch community is that. It is a real, loving community that goes so far beyond watches. And I really can't even, that's what we're going to talk about in a minute too, but I can't even begin to tell you how far beyond watches this collector community goes. So thank you, Rich, for the sponsorship. I highly recommend you guys pick up this book. I have a copy. I read it. I loved it. Again, because it means something to me as, one, a friend of Rich's, but more so on a more objective level as a watch geek, right? The link is available in the description. Check it out. Let's do it. Okay, what's on your wrist, Daddy-O?
Well, I'm wearing the Cartier tank.
Yep.
And just love this watch.
You got this watch after how many years of wanting that watch?
For quite a while.
Yeah.
Many years. And I was surprised a few years ago, right, for Christmas?
On Christmas, yeah.
Christmas Day.
Yeah.
So
it's funny about
awesome.
the tank. The tank is a watch that it comes in multiple variations. I mean, dozens of variations. And you always wanted a Cartier, right? But and while your eye may adjust to it over time, tanks are a little bit small for you, right? They're a little small. But when we found this oversized stepped case model from the 70s,
right.
I said, Mom, buy this. This is what Dad wants. This is it. This is the tank. This is the oversized tank.
Right.
You know, I'm an enormous Cartier fan.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
Yeah. That's it's my watch. I'm letting you borrow my watch, basically, because one day. This is a Tudor date day in a gorgeous blue dial. Look at the condition on this watch. It's remarkable.
It's a remarkable.
Look at the bracelet.
Yes. I was just looking at it before, and I was admiring it.
Yeah.
This watch is in wonderful condition.
It's blue sunburst dial.
Beautiful,
is
yeah.
Just that, sunburst.
It's like blueberry.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. This watch, along with many others, are currently available in the watch shop at theoandharris.com, all curated by yours truly. All right,
let's do it.
Let's get into the conversation. Let's crack open this bottle of wine. What are we drinking, Daddy-O?
Well, we can't drink without glasses.
We don't have glasses. So what are we drinking? Let's introduce it first.
All right, let's talk about, Beaujolais Nouveau. Beaujolais became quite famous, actually, maybe in the 80s or early 80s or so. It's the first wine of the harvest, right? This wine does not see any aging, so
no oak.
It gets pressed, it goes into stainless steel, it ferments, and then it gets bottled, and it's ready just in time for the third Thursday of November. And so November 15th was that date, right? And last week.
But it's become this tradition.
It's a tradition.
Right.
And as good a tradition as it was in its heyday, it also ruined Beaujolais, the region, because everyone equated Beaujolais with crap wine.
Right.
Because this is not a serious wine.
Right. This
is a fun wine,
right.
and there are wonderful wines within Beaujolais, within 9 different communes. Yep. And we've had some of them in the past.
Well, we recently, and we just talked about it in a video, actually, we had dinner at Daniel, right? Not too long ago.
Yes.
And we drank a Beaujolais. We drank a Magnum Beaujolais, did we not?
Yes, I believe we had a Fleury.
Yeah.
So
it was delicious.
Delicious wine.
More serious wine.
More serious wine. Burgundian in many ways, and almost like a Pinot Noir. But anyway, this is a lot of fun. It's great for the holidays. It reaches, it's ready for sale on the third Thursday of November. There's not a lot of pretension to the pretentiousness.
It's just a fun wine.
It's fun. Once we open it up, there are some real distinct characteristics to this wine that you could be blindfolded and you know it's Beaujolais.
All right, well, let's get a couple of glasses and let's dive in. All right, salud, Dario.
A la santé.
A la santé. Okay, before we get into tasting notes and things like that, I want to get into the topic at hand, right? And the topic, it was definitely, the book, Discovering Time, was definitely the catalyst for the topic today, right? Well, Discovering Time as well as Thanksgiving really is the primary kind of catalyst, right? I want to talk about Thanksgiving, right? Talk about giving thanks to things that mean something to us.
Yes.
Right? I'll go first with watches, right?
Okay.
I've been in the watch community for probably about 5 years, maybe a little bit more than that. I started, probably about 5.5, 6 years, okay? I started Theo and Harris 4 years ago. Right. When I started Theo and Harris, this is going to get emotional. When I started Theo and Harris, watches were just interesting on a material level, right? I found the history interesting. I found the design really interesting. It was the watches. Right? And still to this day, I look at a vintage Cartier and it blows my mind. I look at this Tudor and I'm in awe, right? Genuinely, I feel uncomfortable leaving the house without a watch, without a great watch, okay? But it wasn't until I began engaging with the community, right? Nonetheless, building my own, right? But just engaging with the community before Theo and Harris, that I, felt, kind of in a lot of ways happy, right? I didn't have all too many friends in middle school. I didn't have all too many friends in high school. Socially, it was fairly rough growing up. And when I got involved in watches, right, I was associating with people and sharing passions with people. And I had never really experienced that before, right? And very quickly, conversation escalated from the oddball and desirable nature of a Cartier Tortue monopusher, which is probably the first great, truly great watch I'd ever held. It escalated to, so where are you from? What do you do? Oh, you're married. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. Oh, here, let's complain about. Let's share this. Watches, in so many ways, probably basically in every way, began my kind of, and I'm still very young, I'm still a kid, but it began adulthood, right? Because I began, for the first time, feeling like I was genuinely a part of something that was much larger than I am, which is in many ways what adulthood is about,
right.
In many ways. I'm grateful for the watch community, and I mean that. And now, 4 years later, after that introduction into someone else's watch community, at the time it was Hodinkee and it was YouTube and things like that. Now I have my own watch community, right? Which I've built with you, and I've built with Anna, and I've built with Mom, and I've built with Logan. I built with Bradley at one point. I built with Elias, and everyone. It's Aaron. It's played a major part. And Michael, who edits so many of these videos. We've built this community online that I view, and it sounds weird, and forget monetary, forget the monetary value of the community. I view it as probably one of my biggest personal assets and my biggest personal achievements, right? Yeah. To be able to be a catalyst for conversation and a spark for enjoyment in life, So I'm thankful for the watch community, and again, bring it back to the book, and Rich sponsored this video, so the beginning was sponsored. This I don't have to talk about the book anymore. I'm not contractually obligated to discuss the book anymore, but it's true.
But that story fits in that book.
It does. It's a truth. Again, not obligated to say it, but it's just the truth. It's about understanding that watches are this incredible beginning to so many remarkable, important, meaningful relationships. And all the debauchery that happens from there, So that's it, guys. For my Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving thanks, I am genuinely, and I mean this most earnestly, I am thankful for you guys, and you guys watching, you guys not, even if you're not watching this and you're a member of the watch community, you've done so much for me, and it means more probably than you would ever imagine. So I'd be in law school without you. So that's my thankful wish. What's yours, Daddy-O?
For me, if I'm going to keep it topical here, I'm thankful for wine. But why wine? There's so many things that I am thankful for. But if I go back in time from when I was a very young child, wine was always at the table. We didn't always have wine. But I remember those bottles of wine during the holidays, and I remember my family laughing, dancing. I also remember wine in some of the sad times, right? When someone passed away and you're at a table and you're at a repast lunch. Yep. so many memories with wine around the table, around loved ones, around friends that you love and that you like to spend time with. I always think about how wine ties into that. I'm also very thankful for affordable wine, because it's very easy to get sucked into the high end and only drink the high end, but we like to drink great affordable wines, right? And so I'm thankful for that, and I think over the course of every year that we've been doing this, we always find these wonderful gems, right? And
this past year we found quite a few.
We really did, yeah. And so that was phenomenal.
From the Gruners,
right,
to some Spanish wines.
Spanish wines. That to me is wonderful, and I'm thankful for that. And really thankful for being able to do this with you, to spend time and to chit chat and to as they say in Yiddish, to kibitz, right? And
classic Roy. Going right to Yiddish. Wow, he segues from English to Yiddish flawlessly. I mean, really, without seam.
So we're kibitzing, and so I'm thankful for that. The fact that so many folks that I work with watch this channel, and they're always commenting, and so in many ways, I'm thankful for the youth that it gives me. It just makes me feel great.
Liquor Run has
invigoration,
re-enlivened your entire passion for wine, I think.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm thankful that, and obviously the no-brainers, family,
of course,
things like that.
Those things going on being said.
Videographer Anna,
who at this point is a member of the family.
That's right, exactly. So I'm thankful for all of that, and and I hope we keep doing it. Again, I'm also thankful for the geeks that follow me, that say, "Hey, Rolly," they give me all the shout outs. It's wonderful.
I think that in so many ways, all you ever wanted, or one of the only things you ever really wanted, really wanted, things that that really make you happy, was this opportunity to share your knowledge and passion for wine with people. Something that you didn't really do. You did when you could at a party, or maybe asked, but you were never looked at as this at scale, an authority or a figure in wine. Right. And now for this channel, you've been able to be kind of a figure. I mean, someone that people go to for advice on wine. Right. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. I love it, and I cherish it.
Yeah.
So.
Anecdote time. Remember, you said that wine is present in all these moments. It's like the family member that never dies. Like the repast.
Yeah.
Remember at a little anecdote, good example. At Uncle Mikey's repast. Remember that?
Yes.
My uncle, my great uncle. He was 90 years old. He passed away a couple of years ago. 4 years ago, I think. And 3 years ago, and at the repast lunch, which was not a depressive event. I mean, we were all quite certainly weren't happy that he was dead, but we were all enjoying and celebrating life, And we celebrated life so much that the restaurant wasn't bringing the wine fast enough, so we began to pull the wine bottles off of the wall, which they absolutely were not. They were for decoration. So we started pulling the wine bottles off the wall, and the waiter was like, "What the f*** is going on? Like, like how do we count the wine that's being served?" Again,
it's a great wine memory.
And
I'm thankful for those moments.
And we were drinking some pretty good wine that day.
We were drinking good wine. Yeah.
It's awesome, Daniel.
Yeah. So let's. All right. So you sipped it a little bit. Let's go right back to the wine. You tell me.
It's very young. I mean, you could taste this real forward fruit, right?
Yes.
It's almost like got this bubble gum.
Bubble gum, yes, bingo. Yes. Bubble gum. Yep.
Yeah.
That is awesome, because that is classic Gamay.
Really?
And Beaujolais Nouveau in particular is bubble gum.
That's weird.
Yep. You read any book, it's bubble gum. Yeah.
And I've never read a book.
Yep.
On anything. I read one book, fifth grade, and I wrote my school essay on it. 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade. 4 years in a row, right? Remember Nicky Deuce? I wrote, and then Al Capone does my shirts. It was it. My mom was like, someone's gonna catch you, right? Like, you're recycling the same paper.
I think, didn't you write your senior thesis on Nicky Deuce?
I remember. Senior thesis. I was a Catholic Studies major in college. I know, how did I go from Catholic Studies to watches and entrepreneurship? And one of the best, most impressive papers in the room and our senior thesis was on Pope John Paul, and it was like the minimum pages were like a 12-page thesis, right? This person delivered like a 42-page thesis, right? So we were all like, and it was like this super analytical, you know, kind of assessment of Pope John Paul's, you know, papacy, and it was way over the top, and it was incredible. The guy who wrote its name was John Paul. His parents named him that, you know. So we were all like, And right after him, the professor says, "Okay, Mr. Zeron, could you present?" And I was like, "Well, what is your topic?" And I said, "Martin Scorsese and Jesus, And she was like, "Oh, nice." Like you can't follow the Pope with Scorsese, But anyway,
did.
I did. Anyway, bubblegum, a lot of fruit.
Yep. You cannot run away from the bubblegum in this wine. This one is really nice when you chill it.
Yep. Okay.
And it's almost no tannins. It's just like it's fruit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
it's very easy to drink.
Very easy to drink.
But you're right. It has this distinctive. Right there on my tongue.
Yeah.
This what is bubblegum made of? I don't even know, but it's bubblegum.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Yeah. So that's Beaujolais Nouveau.
And a traditional Thanksgiving wine.
And an awesome, non-pretentious.
How much is the bottle?
$9.
$9, guys. Yeah. If for nothing else, just take go to the store, buy the Beaujolais Nouveau, send us a photo. I'll give it to Rolly.
Yes.
And whoever sends us a photo, we'll enter a raffle to win free shirts.
Yeah.
How about that? We'll give out 5 free shirts.
Great.
Okay? And then we'll announce it on Liquor Run.
I would love to do that.
All right?
Yeah.
Cool?
Send us your pics.
Cool. Salud, guys.
Salud.
Thank you so much. And Dad, last of all, thank you. Again,
thank you,
for
buddy.
what, a year and a half, almost 2 years of Liquor Run?
Yes, 2 years of Liquor Run.
Yeah,
in
this
September.
started off as my way of giving you an opportunity to come on the channel and talk about wine, a favor to you, and it ended up being a big favor to me because this is one of my favorite series to do. It makes my job so much more enjoyable. So you're my man. I love you.
Love you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Ciao.